It's morning. Good morning. Good morning. It's time to get up. It's time to get up. This is Foul Pal Darrell with your morning wake up call. Remembering that in my fourth year doing YouTube, this is definitely a no judgment zone. Honey, the people said that they wanted some real life stuff, honey. So, girl, if you see something that is uncouth, honey, if you see something that is not proper, it's a no judgment zone. So good morning, good morning, good morning. If you are new to this channel, I'm Foul Pal Darrell. Welcome to my indoor grow space. Like I just said, I know it's not much, but it's mine, okay? We gotta love what we have. That is what this video is pretty much centered around. Now, you're going to hear the water running because remember, we're watering our orchids early in the morning. If you are just now staying tuned, honey, girl, mama has shown you how to manage your time as far as taking care of yourself as well as taking care of your orchids. Good morning, Foul Pal Kathy. So today, honey, girl, the main fertilizer for today is going to be seaweed kelp. What we are talking about today, as far as self-care as well, has something to do with seaweed kelp. Now, many of you guys know that seaweed kelp is known to promote good roots on your plants and your orchids, right? One day, but do you? Okay. So, going outside to water the orchids, remember. But yeah, seaweed kelp is good for promoting new root growth, reviving plants, all of that good stuff. That's what it's known for. But did you know that humans, meaning me and you, Foul Pals, we can benefit from actually consuming seaweed as well? Now, Kathy, Foul Pal Kathy, you might have already known that, but I did not. Remember that right now, girl, from now up until next year, it's all about orchid care turning into self-care. Girl, I have heard great things about what seaweed kelp can do for the skin. Now, I have not used it yet, but next week, I am going on, yes, we're going to speak it. I'm going on the detox from sugar. I'm going on a detox from sugar. And I want to try some seaweed kelp in my diet. I don't think that it's going to taste good. I don't know. All I know is being addicted to sugar, especially being in Africa, America, is not cute and it's dangerous, okay? So, all about self-care and orchid care. If you did not know, honey, girl, the fertilizers that we give them, including the seaweed kelp, this is called synthetic fertilizer, okay? Remember, this what the girls wanted, honey. Good morning, baby. Good morning. This what the girls wanted. So, girl, if the video is not edited, girl, this is what the girls wanted, okay? So, we're talking about synthetic fertilizer. We're watering our orchids early in the morning. I'm about to go walking, and we're going to do Bible study later on in the morning, around 8, 9 o'clock. But remember, if you have Oncidiums, Miltoniopsis, any of these orchids that have any type of bulbs on them, you see how that is wrinkled, okay? But it's in a clay pot. If you did not know, honey, girl, I would not advise at all putting your orchid that has any type of bulb on it into a clay pot, because those are orchids that, girl, I don't know what the other channels are telling you, but these are orchids that you don't want to dry out. Now, there are also phalaenopsis type of orchids that you don't want to dry out, but that's a whole different video. The synthetic fertilizer is similar to sugar with humans, meaning that it can be addictive. So many of you guys are having your phalaenopsis orchids in particular that shows rapid decline like this because this is not getting exactly what it wants with that synthetic fertilizer. Now, some of you guys are saying, well, Darrell, what are your thoughts on organic fertilizer? Like broken down matter to feed the plants, because people in their mind are saying, well, this is how Mother Nature does it, and this is what goes on. Let me just tell you, honey, girl, I've been growing outside for 3 years now, and I still don't know what how Mother Nature does it. Maybe some of you do, but girl, you don't know what Mother Nature is doing. Mother Nature do what she wants to do. For instance, girl, they said Phalaenopsis orchids cannot be outside in temperatures less than 57 degrees. Girl, that's a bold-faced lie. Girl, I was embarrassed. Okay, I'm on Facebook getting embarrassed, honey. Girl, these orchids can do whatever they want to do. They can do whatever they want to do. So keep that in mind. If you want your orchids to be strong, it needs to be a real strong balance between either no fertilizer at all. And remember, if you are using tap water, that is some type of fertilizer because it's a little bit calcium in there too, honey. Okay? So you got to keep that in mind. Today, we're using Seaweed Kelp. We're talking about orchid care. We're talking about self-care. We're talking about detoxing our plants from synthetic fertilizers. And we're talking about detoxing ourselves from sugar. That's what we're talking about, honey, if you're just not tuning in. Good morning. Time to get up. Now, this is also a little bit of motivation. Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you feel slew-footed, you feel like you gonna be pussyfooting around today, you feel like today is just not your day, you feel like, oh, I'm not gonna go walking today, because remember, we got to get up and go walking. We got to get up and take care of ourselves as well. If you are feeling like that today, let me just encourage you and tell you that this is the day that you have to push yourself. This is the day that you actually have to do it, because when you get into the mindset of making excuses, not only for yourself, but other people, everything around you, you got an excuse for. You want to get out of that. You want to get into the habit of making, coming up with reasons why you have to do this, okay? I didn't feel like getting up, girl. My stomach was hurting, girl. I feel nauseated. Girl, the back of my legs hurt. Girl, I'm cramping. Girl, I feel like I'm on my menses. Girl, I feel like I'm just going through, honey. Today just not my day. But guess what? I said I have already started to come too far, because just like when we wake up, especially an orchid that is not in the best of care, and we see that new root, honey, girl, we see them active root tips, honey, girl, we get all excited, and that makes us want to keep it up. So like I told you, we've been talking about managing our time, and we have been talking about watering our orchids, especially those of us that has over 100 orchids. Now, this is day 3 for me. Day 3 is definitely the conclusion, because by this point, all of my orchids has been watered. But unfortunately, my orchids that are in different pots, because that's how we are doing it, different pots, different setups. So orchids that are in this type of setup, very ventilated, are the orchids that I will have to water again. Especially now that it's summertime, they are consuming a lot of water. But right around this time in August, their consumption of water and their consumption of fertilizer is going to start going down. Now, some of you guys like Fab Pal Crystal say, well, I fertilize my orchids year round. Okay, let's be clear to new beginners, because new beginners, they hear you say something different. New beginners hear you say, give them fertilizer, more fertilizer. Oh, your orchids are always in bloom. So they are hearing, girl, they are hearing, give them this, give them that. No. So Fab Pal Crystal, remember when I just poured the 1 drop of Seaweed Kelp, Fab Pal Crystal is actually, inspired me to that, because I always say a little dab will do you, but Fab Pal Crystal, she does fertilize her orchids year round, because she used the most minute Okay, she's not using what the package says use. She's not putting a little extra in there. Okay, she's using the most minute of fertilizers, and her orchids are adapting to that because now they know, okay, I need to absorb all of the nutrients that I need to get now. Okay, let's think of a dog that you have not given food to all day. Okay, when that dog gets that food, okay, you know, versus them little cute little dogs that you buy the canned food for, and you got the treats for them, and you buy this and you buy that for them, and you go feed them, and they go, and then go back. Okay, you know what I'm talking about, them Pomeranians. You know what dogs I'm talking about. Okay? So the same thing can be said about your orchids. If we're talking about organic fertilizer versus synthetic fertilizer, if you always giving them synthetic fertilizer, especially if it's in compacted sphagnum moss, your orchid is going to have a deficiency because it's going to stop absorbing all of those nutrients. Therefore, well, Darrell, why do you use citric acid? Because citric acid has been known to make the orchids, especially vandas, lemon juice, a little drop of lemon juice, makes the orchids absorb those nutrients more. Okay? I hope it's making sense to you. But let me get to putting these orchids out there. So, point blank period, get up. It's going to be a beautiful day. We are thankful to be here. We're thankful for the activities of our limbs. You know, the early bird gets the worm. You know, taking accountability. You don't have anything in life. Your life is not going well right now. Okay, what are you doing to fix it right now at this very moment? What are you doing to make your day better? What are you doing to make your life better? What are you doing to make your attitude better? What are you doing to make the quality of your life better at this very moment? I know you might be comfortable and you say, well, Darrell, I already got my house. I already got my car. You know, my kids, they go to school. But girl, everybody don't have that. And we already know that money is a false sense of security. Security is being in your right mind, being able to make things happen. The more that you're able to make things happen, you know, you're going to be able to weather the storm so much better. Okay? You're going to be able to weather the storm, but don't be lazy, okay? And don't don't come up with excuses. You got to start coming up with reasons why you got to do this, why it matters to you so much, okay? You got to start doing that because if you don't, you're just going to be, I'm going to say it because I'm your friend, you're going to be sorry. And we don't want you to be sorry. We want you to be an overcomer because that's what God called you to be, an overcomer. He said you already overcame this world. So if you feel like you're in a situation or you feel like you're in a crisis or you feel like you're in a position where you can't grow, you can't move forward, that's when you got to call on the Lord to help you because with God, all things are possible. Girl, they sending people to all different planets and girl, they got an 87-year-old woman going to the moon. Girl, I just saw this 90-something-year-old woman get her GED. Girl, you got to have that attitude. I just was talking to Fab Pal, Preston, and he said he was telling me about many moons ago about he had this wonderful time, you know, singing in this quartet. And I told him, I said, well, why you stop doing it? Why you not gonna go back and do it? Talking about, oh, I'm 57 years old, I can't do this, I can't do that. You got the wrong attitude. Change your attitude. Change your attitude. Remember that I told you everybody's success is not the same success. Okay, make your life successful. Just because you got your house and you got your car, that doesn't make you successful. Successful is when you waking up and you say, I have done something that is achieving my dreams and my goals. I'm doing the unthinkable. I'm doing the unimaginable. My life is not over, girl. Come on, get with it. But I wanted to point this out to you right here when I was talking about Mother Nature, and we don't know what Mother Nature does. Here in Alabama, subtropical environment, Can you see that these roots are green already? By them being green already, that means, girl, they're already absorbing some type of nutrients, okay? So we just gonna go on here and make sure that we watered them. I only used a drop of seaweed kelp, and you can see the active root tips. Remember, all of these vandas are in spike. Okay, so mama is doing something right. So that is pretty much it for today. I just got one little word of advice for someone that is sick, or elderly, or shut in. Keep those people lifted in prayer. And remember that with these orchids, these are reasons to get up in the morning. So let's say you got someone that's dealing with an ailment, something where they're in the bed 24 hours, or they are bedridden, point blank, period. By giving them an orchid, giving them something to take care of, something that is in their face to be responsible for, that is going to motivate them to live to see another day, girl. I know it might sound crazy, but I'm telling you the truth. So anybody that that is sick and shut in, go get them people an orchid. Go get them a little $10 orchid from Trader Joe's, okay? But all right, Fab Pals, you wanted to know how to rebloom your orchid. You wanted to know my thoughts on organic fertilizers versus synthetic fertilizers. Well, there you have it. I believe that you need a little bit of both, because especially around this time in the cooler temperatures, your orchids are not going to consume as much fertilizer as they do in the summer and in the spring. So that's why you wanted to make sure that you got it in now. Remember that this is day 3. This is day 4. But I've given you my 3-day watering method. This is day 4. On day 4, before you go back watering your orchids that are in clay pots, you want to make sure that your orchid is ready to be watered, meaning that it's completely dry out, meaning that the roots are silver, okay? And that's how you're going to keep up with your orchids. This little darling right here, it was time to water her yesterday, and I looked at the roots. It's not time for her to be watered. These roots need to be silver. They're not silver. So she's going to have to wait until her time comes again. Okay, unless I see some form of decline. Okay, that's how you make them strong. That's how they get those strong cell walls. Let me show you. Let me show you. Okay, because if they have strong cell walls, honey, you're in the game. You see them indentations in the leaves. That means it's strong. Just like we have muscles, your orchids can have muscles as well. And you want them to have big, thick roots, okay? We don't want them to get attached to the wall, but we want them to be strong and healthy. So that is an example of an orchid that you don't want to water versus an orchid that you do want to water. Okay, and say goodbye to this little bloom. She's on her way out the door. I love you guys. I wish you many, many blessings today. And I will see you later today when we are on YouTube. We're going to do it on YouTube. YouTube Bible study for beginners. Okay, we're talking about Jesus. We're talking about God. We're talking about being a better person. Well, on that note, I love you guys, and I wish you many, 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 many blessings. Until next time.